take that pan, put the lid on it, put it fridge outside, please.
There we go. Oh, tipped it again. Whew. So 4th and 12, 50 seconds to go.
And he didn't even see it, and that's when they ended up sacking him in that last sequence of plays. This time, Trevor Lawrence looks right. He feels it, sees it.
He didn't feel it, see it. It was coming right at his face.
The ball dumped off to the back. Choice, and by the way, if he throws that accurately, Choice picks up the first down and maybe gets to the end zone.
So here they come for a field goal. It wouldn't surprise me if he misses it. It's kind of a lot of nerves right here. Oh, he got it. That's a good kick. What's going on, Nicholas? 45 seconds to go. Still a lot of football to play. What's going up, Dog Nation?
15-point margin, 45 seconds before halftime. Good kid providing aerial coverage to celebrate the 64-year legacy in the sport.
Nice, son.
Hall of Fame down in Atlanta will induct the Plimp as an honorary member of the 2019 class. Goodyear
Clemson looking pretty good. You going for Clemson, huh? Yo, what's up, Mike? Sarah said roll tide. I would not. Mike said I hate both of them. Stadium's pretty full. I mean, ticket prices weren't as high as they were years before, but still sold out. Bama better come on with some D. I'll get into that here in a minute, Vivian. They're going to go down the field. They're going to try to go down the field. Tua looking shaky. Nah, I don't think so. Here we go. That old boy right there's got a leg on him. Yeah. They were told, what's going on, Georgia's best. So all right, they're going to go to commercial break real quick, so I'll start breaking some of it down. So what's happened a couple of times here is that Trevor Lawrence seems to be really good at reading the Alabama defense. So they keep mixing it up, and it's causing some confusion. See what we got here. And he's going for it. Oh, he tipped it. Whoa. Usually hands to the face is a penalty, but whatever. Yeah, they're doubling up on Q Williams. We want to thank the state of Georgia for giving us some of the best quarterbacks y'all ever had. You welcome. You welcome. Just so long as you know is even if your team wins, it's because of Georgia. Here we go.
Could be just showing them dropping, trying to affect the communication of the offensive line by Alabama.
There's a drop. Just run it.
And has room to run. It's a test of an ankle.
Timeout.
Down to the 31, and they'll have to spend the first of their 3 timeouts.
All right, so are they going to call a timeout? No, they're going to go.
Maybe not. Maybe they're content. They're just going to say that's enough.
So they'll take a shot downfield here.
Answers that question, they will get the football.
Will he at least take a shot downfield? He's going to let the clock run.
Down by 15 and try to read.
He's going to let the clock run. Okay. Yeah, my TV's behind because I watch on PlayStation View, so mine's live and mine's streamed. Wait a minute, are they going to go? Or are they just going to stand on the field and talk smack? All right, they're going to the locker room. Okay, I'm going to step in here. So, hold on. Wrong light. Hold on. There we go. So, basically, here's what you're looking at. Clemson's put up 31 points, which is not bad. Alabama's put up 16. So for those of you who are Clemson fans who didn't watch my show, Georgia was beating them 28-7 at the half. So Sarah's like, I refuse to be salty. I wouldn't be salty at all. Nick Saban's going to do what Nick Saban does. His team's going to go in. They're going to make adjustments at the half. The big factor in this game is going to be that Clemson, it's a good game so far to be sure. Georgia had basically the same score against Alabama, except Alabama had 8 less points or 9 less points. So I absolutely would not count Alabama out at this point. Now, Alabama may lose the game, but I'm just telling you that once they go in and make their adjustments at the half, you're probably going to see a different ball team come out. Now, whenever Georgia played, it was 28-7, and then they walked all over from the second half. And what they're doing here is they are trying to control the ball. Alabama's trying to control the ball as much as possible to get Clemson tired. And if you look at time of possession in that first half, they already had Clemson players on the sideline wearing oxygen masks, trying to keep up because they were getting pretty tired. Jalen coming in, I doubt it. Clemson's doing a good job so far. Absolutely they are. But Clemson's not dominating Alabama the way Georgia was. And Alabama still came back and beat us. So I definitely wouldn't be willing to say that this game is well in hand for Clemson. Clemson needs to keep making the adjustments they were doing and keeping going in the second half. If they can do that, they'll win the game. Yeah, that's true. Coach make adjustments using that throwback. Yep, 31-16 and not dominating. We ain't Georgia. Well, I'm just telling you guys that you may not be Georgia, but what lost Georgia that game wasn't the fact that Georgia didn't have the talent on the field. What lost Georgia that game was that Alabama's coaching staff. We got out-coached. So if you're a Clemson fan, I'm telling you right now, you better be ready. Because if he comes out and makes the same adjustments against them as well as they did against us, you're going to score 1 touchdown in the second half, and you're going to get walked on. That's what they do. That's what they're known for. So if you go out there and you think Clemson's defense seems more durable than Georgia's, not when they're on the sidelines huffing oxygen. I wouldn't say so. I'd say that Georgia's offense or defense is probably better. Getting out coached by Dabo, nah, not really. What Clemson does is they come out there in the first half and they watch and they learn and they make the adjustments. Did the same thing against Auburn, did the same thing against the Citadel, did the same thing against Georgia. Didn't have to do it against Oklahoma. I mean, that's just what they do. I mean, that's what they're known for. So, I mean, if you don't understand that, you don't watch much college football. So surprised by our secondary set that big play where we've been to Judy, we've been balling. Yeah, the secondary's been good, but both teams have been doing a really poor job of covering up the middle. There's been a lot of quick slants across the middle that's been eating both teams up. And I mean, there's a little screen pass that Clemson's doing that they're throwing to the left side, and it's burned Alabama a couple of times. It's burned Alabama a couple of times, but once Alabama makes that adjustment, they're going to recognize that play, and you're going to see a safety come up and just clobber somebody. Tua is low-key, a glass house, not that durable. 3 sacks in the second half. We got this in the bag. Keep thinking that, Kevin. Keep thinking that, buddy. Be back after the show. Tua trying to get the big plays. Oh, that's what he's out there for. Trevor Lawrence is pretty calm and kind of impressive. He is. Trevor's looking good. No, Trevor's looking pretty good. He's making some good throws. He's making smart throws. 20 Savage said, hook him. Trolls are out early tonight. Thanks for the commentary. You should go live in the fourth. Let us listen while you tell us what's going on. I don't know if I'm that good, man. I just call it like I see it. Sometimes I'm wrong, but sometimes I'm right. But I mean, it's still anybody's game at this point. Both of these teams are highly talented. Both of these teams have good coaching staffs. Both of these teams are capable of making the adjustments and winning and or losing this game. No, it's closed. You're not a troll, 20? Yeah, okay. Logan Green goes, he called me, hey, puss wuss, like I wouldn't notice that he put it up there. Okay. It's a pretty good game so far. Somebody said pretty good game so far, but Alabama always reloads in the second half. I agree. What's going on, Sam? Let's see if Simpson can put the nail in the coffin, unlike our dogs. We'll see. I mean, I'm one of those things where I got a lot of Tide fans on here. I got a few Clemson fans, but as for me, and if you're a Dogs fan, God, you hate to root for Alabama, but at the same time, you kind of gotta, because it's SEC and it's, they beat us, and they come out and they beat Clemson. It kind of validates how good Georgia is. Just the way it is. How many touchdowns for Clemson you call in a game? I say 2. I think they might get 2 more, but I think that's about it. Bama starting out slower than I would have imagined. No, they're starting out at the same pace they started out with Georgia. SEC means nothing. You must bring it on the field. Georgia sure couldn't beat Clemson. You don't know until you put them on the field, man. Oklahoma said that about us, and we clobbered them. So, SEC Nation, where you at? Saban will get fixed the second half. Yep. LSU fans, so don't want either to win. I can respect that, Sam. I even root for Auburn against non-SEC teams. Root for is a strong word for me. I kind of lean towards, but if they lose, I'm happy. Sarah said I cheer for Georgia and roll with the Tide. I appreciate that. Turnovers. Here's the thing, man. Jalen Hurts can come into that game anytime and completely change the entire dynamic. If Trevor Lawrence goes down, there's nobody to back him up. So, I mean, it's anybody's game. Just from what I've seen in the first half, this is Clemson's game. Unapologetic. If you go back and you watch the first half of the SEC championship game, you'd have said the same thing about Georgia, and you'd be wrong there too. I think I might see a little Hurts second half. He can move the pocket. It depends. They may mix it up. I just don't like Pama at all. Go Gators. 2 in the first half is playing like he was hurt. Like he has a hurt ankle versus Georgia in the first half. Yeah, I mean, he is playing kind of lackluster. I think that last little run play at the end was a little bit crazy. Is it 0 sacks right now? I think it is 0 sacks right now, but I don't think that's going to continue the way it's going. Saban is king of halftime adjustments. That's right. Hold on, DB. Let me back up and read your question. 0 sacks. Yeah, I don't think Alabama has any sacks right now. This guy's pulling these interceptions, finna be MVP. If you win, actually predicted Hurts winning the game for Bama. We'll see. Well, we'll see what happens. Clemson is in there. Well, maybe Clemson is in there. I'm just telling you, as a team that plays Alabama pretty often, they'll catch the chickens to their hats. If you go back to the UGA game, Hurts brought Bama back. Well, if you go back to the SEC championship game, Tua won that game for them. And if you go back to the SEC championship, Jalen won that game for them. So it took both their quarterbacks to beat us both times. I said we were down more. I said we were down more than this against UGA this last time. Yep, sure was. Georgia was at 31. Was it 31-10 or something like that? I can't even remember. My score prediction for the right now is Alabama 45, Clemson 35. That's a tough score to get because I think they got 31 now. So they'd only have to get 4 more points. The only way you can do that is 2 safeties. So you might say 36. That'd be 2 field goals. Uh-oh. What do you think about the LSU-UCF game? I was happy to see that, man. I'm so tired of hearing about UCF. And I made the comment, I'm like, if since LSU beat last year's national champs, does that make them this year's national champs? Just throwing that out there. Seems logical to me. Hey, Brett, we enjoy your live shows and how you chatted up with us. I try to. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd be standing here just talking to the wall. So my wife laughs at me, but it works for me. Score prediction, I don't know what your name means, but that's a cool name, dude. Score prediction, 43-37. Well, I could see that. I could see 43-37. That would make sense. And that would also keep it under the spread. I think it was supposed to be a 10-point spread or something like that. What I think about Trevor outshining Fromm, 2 different offenses, man. I mean, you might plug Fromm into Clemson and that whole team collapse. Same thing with Trevor with Georgia. What's up, Gatorade? Hello from New Zealand. Love your channel. Chahu. I hope I said that right. Little guy. That's my little guy, if y'all can hear him. Hey, we're beating our brains out. Bama's going to come back and play a lot better in the second half. Imagine Saban and Belichick working together. I kind of wish Saban would go back pro. Alabama doesn't have a lot of defensive line depth. It's a problem. Doesn't seem to be to play in the national championship. How would you feel confident in Georgia going against Clemson? Would I feel confident against Georgia playing against Clemson? I think it would be a really good game. I think Georgia's defense is a little different than what Clemson has seen all year. Georgia really doesn't play a whole lot of the rush to quarterback. They play more of containment. So we would really be counting on our secondary to defend the ball, and since our secondary is one of the best in the nation, I think we'd fare well, but I don't know who'd win. I mean, if I had to pick a team, I'd pick Georgia, but I'd only pick them by 3 points. Bama fans complain too much when they lose. Everybody's fans complain when they lose. No pass rush for either team. Tua's been sacked twice, I think, Bryson. Everyday Superman, they're winning. For now. I mean, but that's why you play two halves. Clemson's O-line's winning the battle. Maybe. Who's better, Bears kicker or Alabama's? The Bears kicker, because he made it pro. I don't think that field goal kicker for Alabama is going to make it pro. Unapologetic wrote me a book here. Hold on, let me read it. It's going to take a drastic change for Alabama to win. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying for every game Tua has played in against a team with decent defense, he is clearly not as good as they say. That's any team that has really good defense. They make good quarterbacks look terrible. Jalen will do to Clemson what we did to Georgia. We'll see. We are a second-half team. That is true. How do I feel about the comments made regarding the committee's decision? If Notre Dame got in because they were undefeated record, then why didn't UFC get in? I agree. I don't believe that the most deserving team should get in. I disagree with that entirely. I think the whole philosophy behind having a playoff is that it has to be the top 4 teams, the best 4 teams. Not who's ranked 1, 2, 3, and 4 because of win-losses. And I've said this, and I don't know, probably past 10 videos I've made. If you lose to the number 1 ranked team, and you lose to the number 2 ranked team, and you kick everybody else's behind in the country, doesn't that make you the number 3 team in the country but with 2 losses? So to me, that whole 2-loss thing is a ridiculous rule. Do I like our new defense coordinator, Dan Lanning? He's got to tighten up. We got to find a way to get more pressure on quarterbacks, especially guys like Tua. We just got to. Well, if Lua complain when they lose, then they don't complain much. Well, I see what you did there, DB. That's pretty smart. Trevor will do to Bama what 14 other teams couldn't do. Again, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. I don't know. They got some ridiculous. Hold on. Let me look. I got to show y'all this. This is.
I think that's.
Do y'all see this?
He looks like my grandmother's couch.
He looks like a character that escaped Harry Potter. That's what he looks like.
He's straight there. He escaped as.
That's a bag lady. That's a bag lady.
He escaped as, man.
SEC soft big dog. You can't. First of all, you're gonna troll me. You got to troll me better than that, Dennis. That's Whoopi Goldberg. It's supposed to be Lil Wayne. That's supposed to be Lil Wayne. He looks a little retarded. That's what he looks like, little retarded. He's wearing somebody's drapes.
No, right now he's a little thrift store.
He's a little thrift store.
It was 99 cents.
He looks like Granny. See you later, Dr. Info. I think Alabama will come back because Nick Saban is an adjuster. He really is. He's an outstanding coach when it comes to adjusting. Somebody said something. Unapologetic said, I'm with you on who should get into the playoff. And Kid, Cuddy won? I don't know. Bama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State. I think that's pretty accurate. What's up, Micah? Oh, man, these halftime shows. I would rather just watch them shoot off fireworks for 15 minutes than some of these ridiculous performances. Because no, yeah. So far, Tigers are doing okay, but I also know nobody makes halftime adjustments as well as Saban. I'm cautiously optimistic. I know 15 points is not enough to be comfortable. Sarge, that is probably the most intelligent statement I've had as far as the outcome of this game so far. So if you guys are still on here so far, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. It affects all the metrics or whatever that YouTube uses. Just, it takes half a second, hit the thumbs up. And my cheap free commentary. Surely I hope it's worth that much. So Chahoo, I'm gonna steal that, dude. I'm gonna use that every day. Nice hat. Yeah, see that right there, Georgia boy? I was living in Nebraska. I bought this hat at Lids. They had it on sale for like $10 because there's no Georgia fans up there, and it cost me like another 10 to get Georgia boy painted, stitched on the side. No, I got the other one in Hawaii. I lost it. Just imagine Georgia played every game on their schedule the same way they did against Alabama. Yeah, it'd be bad. Ask Georgia how hard it is to defend a second-half Bama team. It's damn tough. Why don't I do Super Chat? What is that, Bryson? What is Super Chat? Because because I'm no pro at this. I just kind of do this for fun and for you guys. UGA should have made the playoffs. UGA should have beat Texas to drive the point home to committee. I agree. Oh, I don't know. I'll look into that, man. I'll look into that and see. I'll probably do that for next season. Coming in, for those of you who don't know, I appreciate you. Everybody that's on the stream, thank you for being on here. Last year at this time when I started doing, I don't know, it was probably about 4 or 5 games into the season. Not this year, but last year, I started doing this channel. Right on. I'll do super chat. Yeah, I'll take money. I don't know anybody who wouldn't. I was mad when Georgia lost, even though I'm a Clemson fan. Yeah, that hurt my feelings too. Trust me. It's in your settings, and we can give you money. I'll look it up and see if I can turn it on for after the game. But I appreciate that heads up. But I started doing this, and I didn't do it with the intention of making any money or becoming YouTube famous or anything like that. I just wanted to give everybody a different Georgia fan to look at that wasn't so polarized. Now, granted, we need those polarized fans because they gain a lot of attention. But I wanted everybody to know that not every Georgia fan out there is quite as polarized as some fans are. I try to be super objective. I'm still a Bama fan. I still love the Dogs, but I try to be as analytical as possible, and I try to get the games as close as I can. And if Georgia loses, you know, I'm gonna get on here. I'm gonna eat my crow. I'm gonna say, hey, is Georgia overrated? Too overrated? I don't think so. I think they're just playing a good team. You know, I get on here and try to show that you know, not all of us out here are crazy, and not all of us out here are just, you know, off the deep end. You know, is what it is. Break the like button, Dr. Info. I appreciate that, man. 131 people with 21 thumbs up. That means I'm missing 262 hands. So 240. There's a lot of people on here that would rather watch somebody who's a little more balanced than maybe somebody who's just, you know, losing their mind. Now, you can kind of tell I'm talking about Uncle Lou. I love Uncle Lou. He's one of my favorite personalities. Do I think Alabama could come back? Absolutely. Is Bama overrated or is Tua overrated? I don't think either one is overrated. I think they're just playing a good team. I mean, it just is what it is. You can't watch him. Some people can, some people can't. If you got to take him with a grain of salt. Sarah said she already hit the like button. Thanks, guys. Tua is highly overrated. Tries to force things that he doesn't look off defenders. Yeah, but he's still getting the job done, so they're going to leave him in there. He can make the right plays. I think they were all made in a lab. Yeah, I feel the same way. Kirby Smart has no interest in the NFL. He's obviously building a legacy at Georgia. There's nobody that can push him out of that job for quite some time, and he recruits too hard. Uncle Lou has his place. You both are opposite ends of the spectrum. I agree. And again, I really like him. He was actually the one who inspired me to do YouTube videos. And when I first started doing this, I actually sent him an email, you know, letting him know that I was going to start a page, and I really like him and all this other good stuff. Hey, Big Dog, how do I think Georgia Tech would do with Pon Johnson leaving? I actually think they'll do pretty well. That program's been stuck in that system for a long time, and there's so much talent in Georgia that will go to a team like Georgia Tech because of the scholastic side of it. There's players that won't come to Georgia because we don't quite reach the technological side of stuff that some people want to get into. But Bama's not overrated. These are the two best teams. I agree with that. Jalen will come in and win. That's possible. Even though I'm an Alabama fan, how in the hell did Saban pull off the #1 recruits but still can't get a decent-ass kicker? Usually because most college football coaches, especially in the SEC, they will not put a kicker on scholarship. They'll take a walk-on. And there's actually pretty decent kickers that are walk-on. And as good as Rodrigo Blankenship is, he didn't get a scholarship until like his third or fourth year at Georgia. So that was one of the things that Mark Richt had promised him and that Kirby Smart actually gave him. He was a walk-on. And I mean, there's a lot of kickers out there that they come on and they kick and they do a great job, but they don't give them a scholarship. They'd rather give them to a skills position. Finally, this boring halftime show is done. Wait a minute, you talking about me or the TV? Walk-on kickers, that's what it is, man. No matter what happens tonight, Clemson will never be Crimson. That's probably true. I mean, it is what it is. Georgia Tech is for real the middle of Atlanta, like 15 minutes from Emory. I know I live close to Atlanta, Lamar. Hunter Renfro is a walk-on and probably should be the first person that they ever gave a freaking scholarship to. He's amazing. Alabama has allowed 30-plus points in a half. Has ever allowed 30-plus points in a half. I can't remember. I don't know that stat, Robert. Maybe. Too many mistakes, too. It needs to settle down. They'll make the adjustments. Don't worry about it. This Bama kicker needs to be in high school football. Believe it or not, that guy probably should not even be playing football. I mean, he's missed 9 PATs this year. 9? That's ridiculous. Gators beating Georgia next year. Movie clips. Easy now. Easy. Urban will be hired as Alabama's defensive coordinator. God, I hope so.
Florida was going to beat Georgia next year?
Yeah, somebody's talking.
You're going to win the lottery and buy a beach house.
Yeah, I'm going to win the lottery and buy a beach house in Florida, too. I used to live in Lawrenceville, miss living in GA. I do, too. I mean, we did, too, for a long time. I got to show you guys one of my favorite people. Oh, say hello. Who's that? This is our little guy. He's awesome. Malloud. I don't know what you're posting, but right on. If you wanna throw something up in the chat for your channel, I'm cool with it. The new wide receiving core for Georgia. Get that hat, boy. Get it. He loves the Georgia hat. Get it, Bubba. That daddy's hat. Dad. So. Yeah, he's our buddy, future dog player. That's right. No Saban when Saban retires. Danny Sweeney, Danny Sweeney. Ooh, go get Daddy's hat. Get it, buddy. That hat's about 8 years older than he is. Who am I going for? Well, I kind of have to pull for Alabama because that's, they beat us, but they're an SEC team, and it makes us look better if we beat them or if Clemson beats them. So, future dog player. Yeah, he's actually pretty big for his age. He's in the 99th percentile, so we're super excited about that. He loves Daddy's hat. So, well, guys, Clemson secondary is not fooled. They're confusing too. I think that's true too. I think they've set some looks up, but unless they've set up more looks for the second half, they'll get it figured out and they'll be back into play. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off for a minute. I'm going to get something to drink, and I'm going to look at the super chat thing. I really appreciate you guys. Hit that thumbs up for me one more time if you would, if you can. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you guys after the game. And as always.